Good morning, everybody. How are you today? Just getting you up again so I can see what I'm doing. Whoops. Right here. It's always the fun part, I know. That's all good. How is everybody? Everybody have a good week? I know I'm coming in and out, sorry. Turn my volume down again. That's what I always forget to do. There we go. Hi, Marnie. How are you this morning? Morning, Thea. Thanks for joining us again. Good morning, Rosemary. We're just going to wait for a few more to pop on and then we'll get going. If I could figure out how to edit the front part of this FaceTime videos, that would be great if anybody knows, because, you know, me getting ready is never ever a good thing for you guys to watch. It is Mother's Day this weekend. Good morning. So we kind of decided we'd do something a little bit different. We're going to do a couple little short tutorials, and I have two actual special guests today, and we'll introduce you to them. And let us know where you guys are all viewing from. I know we've had some. Hi, Barb. You made it this morning on time. Got your cup of coffee with you? I know we've had some viewers from Ontario, BC, up northern Alberta. I think we had one the other day, I want to say from the Yukon, but maybe she actually phoned me. I can't really remember. It's been a whizzy week this weekend, or this week. So we've got a few on here this morning, so we are going to get busy. So the first special guest that I want to introduce you to is a really important man in my life. No matter what happens or what mistakes I make, he's always there for me. He helps me push things if I need to push. He helps me pull. He fixes my mistakes. And so I want you to introduce you to Jack the Ripper. You see that? Sorry, Lorna?
Yeah.
So this is my best friend, Jack, and I'm just going to show you a few things about a seam ripper. I know all of us have been quilting, or some of us maybe not, but most of us have been quilting for years. And this type of seam ripper is really the only one I've used. I try other ones, but this one works better with my short stubby fingers. And this one, I love it because it's a 3-in-1. So first thing with your seam ripper,
Set it down on the table.
I know that
I can zoom in.
people have said that they have a seam ripper that they've used for 20 years. You want to make sure that your seam ripper is good and sharp. If it's not, you either need to find somebody that's going to replace it find somebody that can sharpen it, and I've not heard of anybody like that, or replace it, because if you have a dull seam ripper, you're going to start snagging some of those seams and create some issues in your quilts. So make sure your seam ripper is sharp. On this end, and I'm just going to lift it a little bit, the pointy end, you can use that as a stiletto to push your last little bit of fabric through your machine without damaging anything. It's nice and thin, and it just helps to keep your straight seam going with that. So there's that tip. And then you have your presser. So I have quite a few different scraps for this. So if I wanted to, and I know I sewed these wrong sides together, but if you wanted to press your seam, I am a presser to the cider person. So you have this rounded piece here, and that is like a finger press. And so you can just take that and gently move it along your seam. And it saves you from having to run constantly to the ironing board if you don't have one at your station. And it actually does a fairly nice flat seam. Okay? So you've got your stiletto, you've got your presser, and you have your seam ripper. Everybody rips seams differently. Anybody that knows me knows that I always like to find the fastest way that I can to do anything. But I need it to be fast, I need it to be efficient, and I need it to be of some kind of top-end quality. So I have mastered a skill, and some of the girls here they saw me doing it and they really get a little bit nervous because they think that I'm going to wreck my stuff, but I never do. I don't know why. And it's just all in skill and practice. Now, when you rip the seams the way that I'm going to show you that I rip them, which is why I call this Jack the Ripper, because it works really quick. I want you to realize that there is a little ball on one of the edges of the seam ripper here. Most people will have that inside their seam and the pointy outside, because then you're not going to run it along and snag your fabric. Sorry, do I need it down lower? We're okay?
Yeah, you just keep moving to the wrong side there.
Oh, sorry. So this is a good one for us today. So most normal people will rip it this way. Am I still in the frame?
Sorry.
Am I good?
Yep.
And they'll rip it this way. I know I'm totally out of where we said we were going to be, aren't we?
Mm-hmm.
I personally am not the most coordinated person. I cannot hold my seam ripper that way and seam rip. So this is where the girls get nervous with me, because I flip mine so my pointy's inside and my ball on here is outside. And then what I do is, and you will see that this is actually a seam. Sorry. I'm going to keep it down here. I know this is going to be, you guys are all going to be dizzy by the time we're done.
No, I apologize.
So I take out just a couple of seams at the very end, and then I will open up my seam. I put my ripper in and I just hold it. And there's one seam done. And it's just really is just practice. I know a lot of people will pick out each seam. That in my world doesn't work. So I have just learned to do things somewhat differently. And so then I just, again, and lots of times what I will actually do is I will put one piece in under my foot of my sewing machine. So then I have it taut there, and I can then rip that seam just a little bit more carefully. I was going to say this one. Look at that. Do it this way. I'll do one more for you guys, just because I know you're all amazed at how fast I can rip a seam. Good morning, Miss Lorraine. How are you this morning? It's been great to see you watching us. So there's the seam ripping. I can certainly show you this when we reopen the store as well, and give you some tips and techniques. And I would just say grab some scraps, give it a try, and you'll find that it goes pretty quickly. So that was Jack the Ripper, our first special guest. And I keep moving on you, don't I?
You do.
So my second special guest this morning is Bob. And Bob saves me a lot of time. And he helps me to keep my seams tension proper and tight. And he's very strong, but very thin. So he's very thin. And he has a lot of stuff that is special about him. And, you know, he just keeps our world just turning. And he is always there for us. So I want to introduce you to Bob. So these are Deco Bobs, and they are, here's good, Lorna? Yep. These are pre-round bobbins. Now there's two types. There is a class 15 and a class L. And depending on your machine is going to depend on which one you get, whether it's the 15 or the L. Now you can phone in if you're interested in these, and I can look up your model of your sewing machine, and we can certainly see which size is good for your machine. The difference between them is that the L stands for a lower, so it's a lower height on the bobbin, and the 15 is just a little bit higher. I'm just going to open that so I can kind of show you. And these are both basics. So a lot of Janomis, not all, but a lot, will use the class 15s. Now you tell me, Lorna, if you can see.
You're good.
Can you see the height difference? There's not a lot of difference, but the 15s are definitely higher. Okay.
Yep.
Make sure I get them in the right box. Now we have white, black, beige, dove gray, and a taupe in stock currently for both of these sizes. And the basic packs, the Class L's are $13 and the Class 15s are $14.50. And then your solid colors range, they're usually a little bit different. So that is Deco Bob. On these pre-wound bobbins, the Class 15 has 135 yards of thread. The size L has 110 yards of thread, okay? And they are actually very strong little men. Sorry. Haha. Cannot get this one out. There we go. So here's the thread. It's very thin. I know you can't see it because it's white. Let me try a black one, Lorna, if I can.
I can see it.
You can see it?
You've got a black shirt.
Oh, yeah, I do have a black shirt. You're right. So here's the thread. Now I'm just going to give it a little bit of a pull. And it does take a little bit. So it's very strong thread. And which is great because that's just going to help your quilt stay together a lot longer. So anyway, so that is Deco Bob. How do you guys like Deco Bob, my second special guest?
He's a good friend.
So, we're okay there, Lorna? Yep. Mother's Day is upon us, I guess. I just realized that this morning. Happy Mother's Day to my mom and to my mother-in-law. I'm sure I'll decide to do something special for you because I just realized it was Mother's Day. It's going to be a different Mother's Day for everybody this year with the pandemic going on. So just before we get into that, it still sounds like we're able to open on the 14th. So we have kind of decided what we're going to do is we're going to open our regular hours, and we are going to have anybody that is immunocompromised or has scared about COPD issues, health issues like that, as long as you're not sick, coughing, sneezing, etc., then you can come and you can shop Tuesdays and Thursdays from 10 to 12. And then all other times of the week, Tuesdays to Saturday, will be for general public and everyone else and yourself if that's fine. We are going to be requesting that as soon as you enter the building, you either use some of our hand sanitizer that we will have here or go directly to the bathroom, wash your hands. And masks are requested that you bring your own mask, that it's clean, it's been washed, bring your own mask and take it home with you. I'm hoping to have some here just in case, but life is busy. So then we also are only going to allow 4 to 6 people in the shop, just depending on staffing. And that way, that's going to give everybody enough room to social distance. So those are some of the things that we're going to try and implement. And hopefully you'll help us with that. So, you know, if you pull up and we have 6 people here, we may ask you to wait until we get those processed. So just bear that in mind if you're deciding to come and visit, okay? So Mother's Day. We have a few different ones. We have Eloise's Garden, and these are a fat quarter bundle. And they have 15 fat quarters in them, and they retail for $65.95. And this is Eloise's Garden, and I have one that I have opened up for you. Can you see these, Lorna?
Just hold it down, please.
There?
Yep. And
they're kind of got a modern flair. I did, and I forgot it at home, and I'm very sorry. I'm just going to kind of do it this way, maybe, so you can kind of see them. I did do a half square triangle quilt in these not long ago, and you can look at the post online and see that post with the half square triangle, Eloise's Garden. I've also included the links for you so that you guys can, if you're interested, you can go online and look them up. Just click on Eloise's Garden. It'll take us straight to our website. Okay, so that's Eloise's Garden. Because, you know, Mother's Day's, it's all about flowers and gardens and stuff. So that's Eloise. Then we have Julia's Gardens, and this is in very nice pinks. Pinks and greens. So we have Julia's Garden, and I'm just going to kind of open them up so you can see them there. And they're very pretty. And there is a link for these as well at the top of the Facebook Live when we're done, okay? So that's Julia's Garden. And then we have one that just recently came in from Northcott, and it is called Botanica. Botanica. Can you see that there, Lorna?
If you hold it up, it's a little better. Yeah, that's really pretty.
So it's very pretty. These are placemats. So in one strip, you would get two, of course, front and back. Is that good there?
Yep.
And then we have the coordinating fabrics that go with it. So beautiful flowers. This one here is a border print, so I'll wait for that one in a minute. You okay?
You're too close.
Too close?
Getting closer on me.
Do you need to zoom out a little? Or are you okay?
That's as far as it gets.
Okay. So we've got these here. This is my favorite. This little, just has a little hint of green polka dot in it. And then we have this beautiful border print.
Beautiful.
And that one is Botanica. And I forgot the hummingbirds. We're going to grab that off the wall.
Here.
And then we have, this one is my favorite. This is a digital print, so it's a little bit more pricey, but it is so pretty. I'm just going to, I'll get it down for you as soon as I get it opened up here. How's that? So it's got the little hummingbirds and all the little flowers. I don't know what these are called, sorry. My mother would know. That's why we have mothers, because they know everything. And it is just a beautiful piece. Now, I just want to let you know that there's only 4 meters of this left. It's going like hotcakes. So if this is something that interests you, I would pop online, look it up right away, and get it ordered, because we can't seem to keep this one in stock. So, and this one is called Hummingbird Haven. There we go. I'm just going to take a little drink of water here. Lorna's knocked me all around.
Well, you keep getting closer to me.
It's because I love you.
Social distancing.
Yeah. So to end our live today, I have a poem to celebrate all of the mothers out there and grandmothers and mothers-to-be. My mother kept a garden. My mother kept a garden of the heart. She planted all the good things that gave my life a start. She turned me to the sunshine and encouraged me to dream, fostering and nurturing the seeds of self-esteem. And when the winds and the rains came, she protected me enough, but not too much, because she knew I needed to stand up strong and tough. Her constant good example always taught me right from wrong, markers for my pathway that will last a lifetime long. I am my mother's garden. I am her legacy. And I hope today she feels the love reflected back from me. Happy Mother's Day to my mom and mother-in-law, and happy Mother's Day to all of you out there. This is Mornings with Myrna out.
And happy Mother's Day from Lorna.